Days of Our Lives, Rachel Vanishes. The sinister truth behind her shocking Bayview exit. The halls of Bayview Psychiatric Hospital had always hummed with an eerie calm, a deceptive stillness that masked secrets, schemes, and shattered minds. But nothing, not even the institution's long history of scandal and shadowy dealings, could have prepared Salem for what happened next. One morning, as the sun crept over the city and cast pale light across the sterile corridors, a chilling discovery was made. Rachel Black was gone.
No warning. No official discharge. No goodbye.
What began as a whispered rumor quickly exploded into a full-blown nightmare, sending shockwaves through Salem and igniting fears that something far darker was at play. Rachel's disappearance wasn't just another mystery. It was a turning point, one that would expose hidden agendas, resurrect old demons, and threaten to destroy the fragile peace holding several lives together. This is the story of Rachel's vanishing, and the sinister truth behind her shocking Bayview exit.
Rachel Black had never known a normal life.
Born into one of Salem's most volatile family trees, she was destined from the start to be pulled between love and chaos. The daughter of Brady Black and Kristen Mera, Rachel inherited not just the Black name but the Mera legacy, a lineage steeped in obsession, manipulation, and a relentless hunger for control. From her earliest years, Rachel was a bright, sensitive child, but her world was anything but stable. Brady's struggles with addiction and heartbreak clashed violently with Kristen's obsessive love and ruthless tactics. Rachel became the emotional battleground in a war that never truly ended. Each parent claimed to want what was best for her, yet both repeatedly placed their own needs above her innocence. By the time Rachel was admitted to Bayview, Salem had already seen alarming signs that the turmoil surrounding her was taking a devastating toll.
Rachel's stay at Bayview was supposed to be about healing.
After a series of disturbing incidents, violent outbursts, manipulative behavior well beyond her years, and moments of chilling emotional detachment, doctors agreed that Rachel needed intensive psychiatric care. It was a decision that broke Brady's heart but offered him a sliver of hope. Maybe Bayview could provide the structure and safety he never could. Kristen, on the other hand, had been furious. To her, Bayview wasn't a place of healing. It was a prison designed to keep her away from her daughter. Kristen raged against the doctors, the court orders, and Brady himself, insisting that Rachel was being misunderstood, and worse, stolen from her.
Still, the commitment stood.
Behind Bayview's locked doors, Rachel began therapy sessions meant to help her untangle reality from fantasy, impulse from consequence. At least, that was the official story. It didn't take long for unsettling rumors to circulate. Staff members spoke in hushed tones about Rachel's sessions taking unexpected turns. Her doctors noted rapid shifts in mood, one moment cooperative and remorseful, the next eerily calm, almost calculating. Rachel reportedly asked strange questions about the hospital's security systems, staff rotations, and emergency protocols. One nurse confided to a colleague that Rachel seemed to know things she shouldn't. Another claimed she overheard Rachel speaking softly to someone who wasn't there. At first, these concerns were brushed aside as symptoms of trauma. But then came the night everything changed. Rachel's disappearance was discovered during the early morning head count.
Her room was empty. The bed neatly made.
No signs of a struggle.
No alarms triggered. It was as if she had simply evaporated.
Security footage revealed only fragments of the truth. Cameras glitched inexplicably during a narrow window of time, just long enough for someone to move through the ward unseen. A side exit door, supposedly locked, was found ajar. Bayview administrators scrambled to contain the situation.
But Salem found out anyway.
Within hours, Brady was at the hospital, panic etched into every line of his face. Kristen, already suspicious, took one look at the chaos and made a chilling declaration.
They didn't lose my daughter.
They took her. For Brady Black, Rachel's disappearance felt like a cruel punishment.
He blamed himself instantly. Had he pushed too hard for Bayview? Had he ignored warning signs that something wasn't right?
The guilt threatened to consume him, reopening old wounds he'd worked so hard to heal. As police questioned staff and searched the grounds, Brady began to notice troubling inconsistencies. Doctors contradicted one another.
Reports went missing.
One orderly abruptly quit the very morning Rachel vanished. And then there was the detail that made his blood run cold. Kristen had been unusually calm.
Not frantic. Not hysterical. Focused.
To anyone who truly knew Kristen Mera, that calm was the most terrifying sign of all. Kristen had spent years mastering the art of manipulation. Disguises, forged documents, elaborate schemes, Nothing was off-limits when it came to getting what she wanted. And what she wanted most, more than power or revenge, was Rachel. Kristen denied any involvement, of course. She wept publicly, accusing Bayview of negligence and Brady of betrayal. But behind closed doors, her eyes gleamed with something far more dangerous than grief.
Determination.
Sources whispered that Kristen had been making secret calls in the days leading up to Rachel's disappearance.
Calls to old Diamera allies.
Calls to people who owed her favors, some legal, some very much not. Was Bayview breached from the outside?
Or had Kristen planted someone inside long ago?
The truth began to surface when an anonymous tip reached the Salem PD. A former Bayview contractor claimed he'd been paid handsomely to install a secondary access system, one that bypassed the hospital's main security protocols. The payment, he said, came from an offshore account linked to a Diamera shell corporation. Suddenly, the pieces began to fit. Rachel's questions about security.
The camera blackout. The unlocked door. This wasn't a spontaneous escape.
It was a meticulously planned extraction. But the most unsettling revelation of all was yet to come. According to one therapist's final notes, conveniently misplaced after the incident, Rachel had shown signs of advanced manipulation. She wasn't just acting out, she was learning, observing, adapting. Kristen hadn't simply rescued her daughter.
She had trained her.
Rachel had reportedly been coached on what to say, who to trust, and how to exploit the hospital's weaknesses. Whether Rachel fully understood the implications of her actions remained unclear, but one thing was certain. She had been an active participant in her own vanishing. The realization horrified Brady. His daughter wasn't just missing, she was being shaped into something dangerous.
That question haunted Salem. Speculation ran wild.
Some believed Kristen had taken Rachel overseas, hiding her in a Diamera safe house beyond the reach of U.S. authorities. Others feared something even darker. That Rachel was being kept isolated, fed a distorted version of reality where Kristen was her only savior and everyone else her enemy. A chilling clue emerged when a Diamera jet was logged departing the country mere hours after Rachel vanished. The passenger manifest was sealed under executive privilege.
Kristen denied everything. But Salem knew better.
Rachel's disappearance left devastation in its wake. Brady spiraled, torn between rage and despair. He vowed to find his daughter, no matter the cost, even if it meant going to war with Kristen once and for all. Friends worried he was on the brink of relapse, pushed to the edge by heartbreak and helplessness. Meanwhile, Molina Evans, long a voice of wisdom and reason, warned that Rachel's psychological state made the situation uniquely dangerous. "This isn't just about where Rachel is," Molina said gravely. "It's about who she's becoming." Rachel's story is no longer just a missing person mystery. It's a cautionary tale about the cost of obsession, the scars of generational trauma, and what happens when a child grows up believing love must be fought for at any price. Kristen believes she saved her daughter.
Brady believes his daughter has been stolen.
And Rachel, caught between those beliefs, may be losing her chance at a future untouched by darkness.